a good morning to you. Welcome to Asake Online. My name is Zenzele Ndebele, and this is the Breakfast Club. Today we bring you this program from Flexi Hospital in Lobengula. You remember that a few days ago I tweeted about the hospital when we were commissioning, or when the City Council was commissioning a borehole. So we got a lot of positive feedback, and today we have decided to visit this hospital to actually find out what is going on. We are going to have an interview with Dr. Ndlovu, who is running this hospital, and we want to find out from him, what inspired him to have such a beautiful facility in the western suburbs, and also the inspiration around the hospital. So join us as we take this journey to show you around this hospital. Quite a magnificent hospital in the western suburbs, and I think some of you have seen this hospital and you've always asked yourself, what kind of place is that? What is going on? Today, here is the full story. Maybe tell us about this dream of having this hospital. Where did it start?
I actually trained, as a medical doctor at the University of Zimbabwe. And in addition to that, I'm a pastor. I pastor a church. So I spend most of my time actually preaching at church, and I travel a lot across the countries where we've got churches. So I've always had a dream whereby I would travel and have my services or medical services being offered even during my absence. And that will also help, to fund my activity and also to multiply my efforts and assist people even if I'm not around. But my medical background basically stems from the fact that as a young boy, I think it was 1978, I stayed at Impilo Hospital for nearly 6 months with some medical complication. So actually still vivid, still remember actually the wards and the places where I was treated here. So that's how I came into contact with the medical fraternity.
Yeah, you mentioned your childhood, which I'm going to I'll come back to that. But let's talk about the doctor and the pastor. A pastor is someone who's busy ministering, and then how do you balance the two?
It's the same thing. You are dealing with human beings. I think the doctor, you look after the flesh, and then the pastor, you look after the soul. So basically you're dealing with the same human being, but it's quite busy, yes. So that's why you find I do my pastoral duties, I think, during after hours and during weekends per se. That's why during weekends I don't do my private practice unless if I'm on call in government, yes. So I try by all means, like Wednesdays I'm off, and then weekends, then I do my pastoral duties.
Medicine is scientific, and sometimes church, not sometimes church is spiritual. So don't you have the temptation to pray for a patient when he comes to seek for medical treatment?
No, you have to separate the two, although they are inseparable. And but if somebody wants prayer, you can pray for them. But remember, if you look at the Bible, Luke, he was a physician, like me. Coincidentally, I'm a physician. And Jesus is also referred to as the great physician. So you can actually mix the two very well, but you don't have to, like if you look at the Hippocratic Oath, you don't have to look at your, what you call it, and take your, impose your religion and faith upon your patients. I look at the whole spectrum of patients, and Christian, non-Christian, Muslim, Hindu, and and African traditional beliefs. We talk about that. But if somebody asks for prayer, I'll give them. But I always prefer to separate the two and do my Christian counseling in my church office and the medical issues at my surgery.
Quite an interesting balance there. And at the same time, you still have to find time for family.
Yes. Yeah, at the same time, you still have to find time with family, which is, of course, they suffer the most. But I try to cover here and there when I'm off, and also Like for instance, my children, when I'm on leave and on holiday, I try by all means even just to travel out of town during exit weekends. I always travel out of town with my kids and stuff like that. Yeah.
You've already told us that as a young person, you were admitted to the hospital, which probably shaped you, your future. But tell us about your early childhood. Growing up,
I grew up in a big family. My father was a headmaster. My mom, both of them, they were farmers at Escotini, and that's Mzingwane district, Chief Mabena at Longfield. So that's where I grew up. I grew up doing I'm actually the ninth born out of 10, 7 boys, 3 girls. So I'm basically one of the youngest in our family. So I grew up, I learned at Longfield Primary School and walking about 7 kilometers a day, grade 1 to grade 7. And then I grew up farming, herding cattle. And then I went to Mzingwane High School from Form 1 to Form 6. That's why I did my A levels. And then before I went to medical school in Harare for 5 years. And then I went back to Harare for my master's, that is specialization in medicine, for another 4 years.
your father was a headmaster, as you say.
Yes.
And did that really give you pressure to perform? Because not telling headmaster, he wants his kids to always excel at school. Did you feel that extra pressure to really, live up to your father's expectations?
Not really, but my older siblings, actually, they used to have extra lessons at home, and my father used to beat them like nobody's business. And but when it came to us, I don't know whether age was catching up as well. We never used to get that pressure, and more so, we never spent a lot of time with my father. My father was always at school. He would come maybe once a month or twice a month, and during the school holidays. So we spent most of our time with our mom, and we'll see our father during weekends and during school holidays. So he never put a lot of pressure, but he was encouraging, very encouraging, and very astute man. So he would encourage you to pursue your dreams, basically.
So we have this state-of-the-art hospital. I mean, one of the best facilities that I've seen around. It's in the western suburbs. People call it Emolovici. And one would ask, why not maybe the other side of town where there is affluent people, more, clientele? Why in the western suburbs?
I grew up in the western suburbs. This is New Lobengula. I grew up in Gwabalanda, 6469. That's where at the same touch, playing some soccer as well during school holidays. When I was not in the rural areas, when I was visiting by the roadside there. So whenever I visited town, I would actually 200 meters from here is Brethren in Christ Church. This is where I grew up attending. So this is my community. So I grew up around here. And also when it comes to practice, I discovered that most of my patients are coming from Makandeni, Luveve, which I admit in the other side of town. They come from all this way. Then I asked myself a question, that's where the population is. Yes, it's in the western suburb, but I still admit these patients and look after them in town, on the other side, in the eastern side of town. So why not have a center here where patients don't need actually to board a bus and go into town to seek medical services? And that was the idea, basically.
Generally, tell us about the layout of the hospital. When you sat down and said, I want to have a hospital in Lobengula, what was in your mind?
Basically, we just wanted a place where we can see people as an outpatient and consult them in outpatients with doctors' consultation rooms. And then we also wanted a place where we can admit patients. We also wanted a place where we can actually do procedures. So basically, we admit patients. We also see outpatients. We operate 24 hours. So we've got a theater as well. And we've got a colleague of mine, I think, from Harare, we reached an agreement. I think we also have got an X-ray facility here. So basically, yeah, manned by a radiologist. So we've got X-ray, we've got mammogram, we do ultrasound scans in addition. Unfortunately, we don't have a laboratory, but we have got laboratory services here. So they come and bleed their patients from here, or we do it on their behalf and they come and collect specimens so that patients don't go and travel into town. And we don't have a pharmacy as yet. So that's one of the challenges in terms of drugs and stuff. So we still have to issue prescriptions for people to buy in town up and until we register to have a pharmacy here.
You're describing a hospital. It's called the Flexi Clinic. And someone said, what's the difference between a hospital and a clinic?
It's one and the same thing. Like for instance, you know, in you've got Medilink Clinic in South Africa. You've got Avenues Clinic in Harare. It's a hospital. Yeah, a clinic is a hospital. But we are so far. I think we only admit 11 people. That is 5 males and 6 females. The reason being, this was like the first phase of the project, because I think with the change of the economic situation, we could not do the second phase. Ideally, we had actually planned this to be a 50-bedded hospital, but now because of the economic turnarounds, so we had to actually limit ourselves to 11, which we can actually manage at the time with the resources that we have. So Flex Clinic is a hospital, and by the way, Flex is an acronym. It means a full life expectancy clinic. So that's what it means, full life expectancy clinic. So it's an acronym taken from John chapter 10, verse 10, which is, the thief comes to steal, to kill, and to destroy, but I've come so that you may have life and have it more abundantly. So that's our theme verse, as it is. Like I said, I'm a Christian. So that's our theme verse. So we honor and respect life. So that's the essence. Interestingly, when I set up base here, I discovered next door, we share the fence there. There's a church there. So they also use the same verse as a ministry. John chapter 10, verse 10. So what a coincidence.
So yeah, it's quite an interesting concept, but also maybe I would say, what's your looking 5 years from now? What do you see of this place? What's your dream? Where do you want to go?
Going forward, we want to put maybe 2-bedded wards. Like as you see, it's an open space. We don't have private wards. We want to put 2-bedded and 1-bedded wards, 4-bedded wards. We want also to include a maternity, and also we want to put some more space for X-ray and expand maybe our kitchen and put a boardroom. As it is now, we've got a makeshift boardroom, like I said. So this is where we see ourselves going into, economic situations permitting. Yeah, this is where we see ourselves.
A number of people, when you talk about hospital, they always talk about affordability. You know, can I use my medical aid here? So we wanted a pan there. You know, it looks so, nice and expensive. Who can come here?
Anybody is free to come here, but as you see, I think one of the challenges in such a community that we've been facing, people would want to say, maybe if you are in such a community, maybe you should also operate like a public hospital, but we are a private hospital within this scenario. So we try to make our prices affordable so that we can also be profitable in order to continue to run a service. We've got drugs to pay, we've got bills to pay, we've got drugs to buy, we've got the staff complement to actually look after. So we are not a charitable organization, but we are sensitive to the needs of the community, yes. So, but we take medical aid, but as you know, that medical insurance right now in Zimbabwe, it's a bit of a challenge. Even not only medical insurance, all insurances, if you get insurance for your house and insurance for your car, you put a value today, tomorrow it's actually worthless. So it's the same thing. So you find that people end up paying shortfalls, or some medicals else don't pay at all. So you end up actually asking people to pay cash and go and claim from their medical aids, but they come back crying that I still haven't been paid. You can stay up to 6 months or so, sometimes a year in some worst case scenarios. So it's not worth the business actually to take some medical aids, but we do take some medical aids.
And lastly, I mean, anyone who's not feeling well can walk in here, or you have, particular services that you offer?
Anyone can walk here who is not feeling well. Like we've got an emergency service, we've got an accident and emergency or casualty unit, and anybody can be seen here. But like I said, for instance, we can, some emergencies, like for instance, if somebody is pregnant and they walk here, we can't deliver them, but we can actually stabilize them and call an ambulance to take them to where they can be delivered. And then, for instance, children, we don't admit children here, but we can stabilize them and take them across to where they are supposed to be. So we've got a limit into maybe what, for instance, somebody who is needing intensive care unit, we can actually admit them here, stabilize them, then we refer them further where they can actually be taken care of. So anybody is free to come in here. And if we can admit you here, we admit you here. If you need to be an outpatient, you go out as an outpatient. If you need to be referred elsewhere, we can actually refer you.
Zakhamizi zikaward 14 eLobengula, ngithanda ukubana ngilemukele kulo umsebenzi esifesane lawo. Siceliwe ngubaba uDr Ndlovu ngemva kwesikhathi eside esakhele isibhedlela lesi, esesiphile khona abanye bethu. Ngemva kwalokho uDr Ndlovu he realized the problem ekhona phakathi komuzi kaWard 14, in particular ima 700 lama 57 lesibhedlela sesakhile. What decide ukubana as adrille iborehole usekwenzile, he has done it. Waseqhubekela phambili ukuthi yes amanzi ulawo angamncedisa esibhedlela sakhe enze yonke into angayenza ngamanzi alayo, kodwa waserealize i-community ukuthi layo ile same problem emenze laye wadrilla iborehole. Wasefisa ke ukuthi azovuma avumele loBulawayo indawo ezidala, azovuma avumele loBulawayo ukuthi lokho okuncane akutholileyo akusheye lathi. That's why today we are gathered here to come and witness permission, or to allow us, or to hand over the use of his borehole to collect amanzi.
We are really honored, sizwa sihloniphekile kakhulu ukubana His Worship the Mayor has been here. This is the second time. So isikhathi sesibili sefika lapha kulo muzi. Maybe ngakayi phambili angisebenzi ngingedwa. So that's the woman who is supporting me there. Ngunkosikazi wami lana. We've just drilled this borehole recently. Asila skati sisebenza vele, I think sile 2 weeks sisebenza. Inkosi yasinika ifavor kakhulu, sathola amanzi, kulamanzi amaningi kakhulu sibili lapha, sazi ukuthi siyafika October maybe kuzatshintsha, but we got quite a lot of water. Sile depth of about 80 meters. Basaqalisa ukuthola amanzi kubo 25 kusiya ku 30 meters up to about 45 50 silokho sithola amanzi. And amanzi akhona ilevel yakhona after that arise afika ku 6 meters. So it's quite a good yield amanzi akhona. And sibona le problem yamagetsi, safaka ama solar panels lana, sipompa nge solar pump. So isibhorane stesi zencedisana ngaso lapha sabe sisebenzisa amanzi akhona esibhedlela kodwa itank liyane eyinye grey liyana izabe ngeye community sizafaka ihose pipe sakalitshengisa kwaphana sizalivulela amanzi ekuseni and izalinika amanzi up to about maybe ngama 12:01 ukwenzela siqalise ukuyigcwalisa for tomorrow futhi. So yikho khona okwengakutsho and isibhedlela senu lesi and le ball yeni leyi sibe lama challenges ekuqaleni khathesi ungane sokungcono sathi sifakile iball yena leyana the very first night amasela alale eqhuma ifence kwapha and ifence vele iqunyiwe yonke around lapha sesaze sagcina sifaka lama camera abonayo lama light ebusuku abantu basithwale senzima ngokusela. Siyacela ukuthi i-community lani lisincede ukuthi into leyi siyenzele lina and then abantu bayiphathe labo ngendlela efanele bayiphathe ngayo.
Uyashisha on lokho kanje. Asisho. Hayi upha mina kumama uyofanele bamthathe ipikise sikamani.
Awuzakuyaphangale.
Uyaphandle. Liyani impompi liyani ngapha. Ngoba labo mama sesifikile lapho his worship the mayor ozakwenza khona i-official cutting of the ribbon, hand over and take over to the community from Dr. Ndlovu, your worship the mayor, please. Thank you. Switching on the ball. Here comes. Thank you, Your Worship. Thank you very much, Dr. Ndlovu. Thank you very much, Your Worship, for what you have done for us. Nakanaman. Mama, right.
I'm none.
Siphakathi komuzondlo we-Flex Clinic lapha eLobengula to witness one of the partnership esibonayo between the city of Bulawayo kanye lama stakeholders wethu. Senanzela ukuthi phakathi komuzi these days amanzi aluhlupho and amanzi aluhlupho njalo kodwa ayimpilo. So we want to thank the generosity of Flex Clinic for providing water to the community of Bulawayo. It is through these public-private partnerships that the city is also putting up water kiosks in high-lying areas. Siyakwazi kule ndawo eziphakemeyo ezingafiki khona amanzi nxa siwavulile lapha ngafiki khona. So idolobha lisebenza labantu abanjengabo Ndlovu esingathi ngama stakeholders zethu. Selibone kufanele ukuthi lifike endaweni lezo lifaka kuthiwa ngama water kiosk. Water kiosk kodwa kithi angamajojo anjengona lawo asefakiwe endaweni lezo kube sekuvulwa ke impompi ukuthi abantu bakwanise ukuthola amanzi lapha angafiki khona lanxa siwavulile. So we acknowledge the importance of partnerships that help in developing Bulawayo, particularly at this time as the city is facing water challenges as well as in our fight against COVID-19. Different stakeholders have come on board and donated personal protective clothing, groceries, and other important items which have been useful in curbing the spread of COVID-19. Water kiosks are also a result of such partnerships that seek to make Bulawayo a vibrant and developed city. We would like to thank our different partners that ensure that Bulawayo continues to live as together as we come up with solutions to the economic and social challenges and make Bulawayo great once again. Mantokithi i-Flex Clinic namhlanje khonapha eLobengula isesinike isibhorane ukuthi sithole amanzi, and lokho kuyumzekeliso ukuthi sibekwazi ukuthi lanxa amanzi ehlupha bakhona abantu abanhliziyo ezinhle abasizwelayo ukuthi ube ngathi uNdlovu esivulile isibhorane sakhe lesi abe nguye osebenzisayo khonapha njengoba isibhedlela sidinga amanzi, kodwa ubone kufanele ukuthi one of the things I dedicated to the community. And uchilo lapha and ngizuluhlungu ekhuluma esithi ifence le eyogombolozele yona le impahla azosinikeza namhlanje bayiqhaqhile abantu bakhona ngale uzowafaka le light leyana ukuthi ukhanye ubusuku kube lokuthi amasela akwanise ukubonakala, kodwa kumlando wethu phela thina njenge community ukuthi impahla le isilondoloze njobe chilo ukuthi la ucela ukuthi njengezakhamizi simncedise ukulondoloza le mpahla. So to the community, you have been given access to this borehole. You may use it well. Asisebenziseni kuhle. We hope that everyone will play a part in safeguarding the borehole as part of the community infrastructure and not vandalize it in any way. Akithi ngalawa mazwi sengwachilo isithanda ukubonga ubaba Ndlovu, Dr. Ndlovu, Flex Clinic le ekhokhelayo. Sibonga lo mama ngoba sabazi ukuthi mama ngakusekele bekungahlupha sibili ukuthi hayi amanye amanzi sesiya ku community, kodwa sitsho njalo ukuthi omama angitsho ukuthi omama they are not supporting the community, but yibo abazwela kakhulu abantu in fact ngokuNdlovu beza ukuthi amanzi ngebhizinisi. Kodwa ke njengobulawayo we appreciate umsebenzi emihle enje uchilo ukuthi sike sabuya lapha sivula isibhedlela namhlanje sibuye ukuzobona enika i-community isibhorane, kuthi ukuthi sizabuya futhi maybe esinika i-community okunye ngoba oqala wanika i-community i-facility le empilakahle, okwesibili kade sesibuye ukuzobona enika i-community amanzi ayiwayo impilo. So sithanda ukubonga lani zakhamizi zika Ward 14 ngosekelo olunika umuzono lo we-Flex Clinic. Sicela ukuthi iqhubeke limsekela naye aqhubeke sekela uBulawayo ngoba uNdlovu nxa usekela u-Ward 14 usekela uBulawayo ngoba uLobengula nguBulawayo. Siyabonga bakithi. Thank you.